What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. Today we're gonna be doing just a more of an informative video. Just had some things on my brain that I was like, well, if anybody else is watching this woodworking, or really just in general that's watching this, that wants some tips on how to get better at anything in life, these are simple tips. Maybe you heard them before, maybe you haven't, but they're proven tips that have helped me grow in my trade, my skill, have helped me grow my trading skill, and that have stood the test of time. So, I just want to put this video out there, give a little bit of information, inspire, help, remind, whatever it may be. It's currently morning, like 10 o'clock. Yeah, usually I'd be working right now, but I just want to get this done. And plus, right now I'm just doing some finish sanding on this project. I'm so close to the end, and that'll be the time where you really want to just hurry up and get it all done. But that's not the best thing to do. You really have to make sure that you're taking your time and not skipping any steps, not making any more mistakes, nothing like that. Especially if you spent so long, months on it, you really don't want to make no mistakes, so you can't rush the end. Yeah. Anyways, I got 3 tips that should help you get better in woodworking, life, anything, So this is gonna be a little bit of a yapper video, but hopefully it helps whoever's watching. If you see me sipping my coffee, we getting that coffee in. Even though I shouldn't be drinking too much coffee, because I seen in this study, this video, it was just real, and it was like college students, and they were recording them, and he was recording all the college students coming in the class, and everybody that was early didn't drink coffee. Everybody that was late drank coffee. So it was weird. It was weird to see, so maybe it's something. Anywho, let's get into the video. The first tip, numero uno tipo. The first tip for anybody that's looking to get better at really anything. This one is universal for really anything. Practice. I know you heard it, but that's just the #1 thing you need to do. Practice does make perfect, because one thing about it is, if you're not continuously doing what you need to do, practice, and being able to make mistakes, because mistakes gonna come, especially in woodworking. The mistakes are definitely gonna come. They come whether you want them or not. They're gonna come, and the #1 thing is trying to be able to overcome that, trying to be able to figure out solutions for that, and being able to navigate it for the next time. That's essential in life, But the thing is, it's just about learning. Practice is about learning, because if you keep making the same mistakes and you're not learning from it, well, what are you doing? But one thing that practice entails is that it kind of forces you to learn, because you're going to keep doing it. One of them times, if you just keep doing the same thing, you're going to get tired of it. You're going to be like, okay, well, let me do something different. Let me slow down. Let me pay more attention. Let me whatever. You're going to change it up some way. You're not just going to keep on doing the same thing. That's just, life. You're not going to keep on doing the same thing. But yeah, practice. You got to practice. Practice, put in the work, do all kind of stuff. You need to, you just got to do. You don't get results. Things don't come into your reality unless you work to put them in your reality. That's the only way that anything is going to be a possibility, And it's just very, very important to make sure that you put in the work to practice, to do what you need to do in any aircraft. The more you do it, the more you do it. The more you do it, the better you get each and every time. And that's just the logistics of life. In any sense, riding a bike, tying your shoe. At first, when you was little, you was tying your shoe, you had to do the bunny ear, you had to do it hecka slow, but now 1 second, you're done. Nowadays, but it all just took time to get there. And that's one thing you cannot cheat on life, is putting in the time. You're not gonna get nowhere until you put in your hours, you know. It's just the way it is. How are you gonna expect to be an expert level when them expert put in hours and hours and hours and years and years and years? You don't get to skip it. You don't get to not fumble. You don't get to not mess up in the beginning. Everybody has to mess up, or else you wouldn't learn. You wouldn't even be able to be at that level. You wouldn't be able to be an expert, because them experts know what to do based on what not to do, you know? It's all about the process. It's all about trying. It's all about the journey to get there. Other than that, you won't be able to get there if you don't walk. It's all about the steps to get there. You don't make it to the end just by teleporting to the end. No, you gotta walk. You gotta put in the work. You gotta take the steps. That's the only way. So, that's one. 2, numero 2. Read, read, read. If you do anything, read. Read, read, read. You know, our society these days is just all about fast pace, fast pace, fast pace. It's hard for people to sit down and settle down and read something. Putting in that time management and really delegating and keeping yourself accountable to reading, because especially when you're doing a business, you're building, you know, you're going to be building a majority of the time. Sometimes you're going to be tired. Sometimes you're not going to want to read or expand on it, but you never know. You could be expanding on something that you are about to run into coming up, and you know, it just is helpful. So it's always good to make time. So right here I have some books that I have. This book, Match the Fit. This book is and you can get these books from the library, which is what I got most of these from. You can get these from the library. You can order them on Amazon. You can get them whatever, you know. Just get you some books on your craft and continuously try to learn from people that have done it in the past. You know, it shortcuts you in a sense. It helps you accelerate your learning in a sense, because you could see maybe avoid some of the mistakes that may occur because you're reading about them in other ways or in other scenarios. This book, 1937. So this is one of them ones that stand the test of time. Yes, things are going to be changing. That's why you always get more and more books, and then you always learn more and make sure you're on the most updated too. But this is, for this, these are things on how to build different things and the basic principles of building. So, you know, those are going to be forever. It's fun to build things, which it is. It definitely is fun and rewarding. Okay, next I got this book, Carpentry by Townsend. This is a great book. This is a great book. It's not just on finished carpentry, it's also on rough carpentry too, which I'm also a fan of. I've also done a lot of rough carpentry work. I'm just more focused on fine carpentry, but I do dabble in rough carpentry every now and again, and I'm actually going to be having a project coming up and a little bit of rough carpentry, which an opportunity just presented itself, which is a blessing. I'm thankful. But anyways, yeah. Now this book is a carpentry test, and it has like a whole bunch of it's like a practice test, a guide to the carpentry test. And it has just a whole bunch of good questions that are just good to know on it, because then you're really gonna know like what's the most essential things in your field, what's really prominent. So get you something that tests. This one, Basic Carpentry Illustrated. Get into, even if you're a renowned person, you've been doing this for 10 years, like I've been doing this for 10 years, I'll still look at the Basic Carpentry book, because there could be some information in here that I have maybe forgotten, or that I need a renewal on, whatever, a refresher, whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't just be so high and mighty that you can't always look at any type of information and try to see, you know, be open-minded, be able to be a learner. Okay, then we got this book, Working with Wood. Yeah, this is a good book, showing some more techniques, different things, the movements of wood, the principles of wood. This is a good, another good book. Yeah, and then this book, this is one of the books that I like too. Can't see the cover, but From the Ground Up. And this is more on home, working on homes and home things like that. Yeah, I love home building too. That's one of the things that I'm going to expand on in the future. Y'all probably will see it later on in this channel. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to get into, doing homes, building homes and doing renovations. That's something that I really, really want to do as well. I have done in the past. I worked for Lennar Home Builders. You probably heard of them. But yeah, definitely something that I love, I'm passionate about as well, doing home building. So this is a good book for me. All the process of home building, the codes, just a vast amount of information on building a home from the ground up. So yeah, basically everything you need to know about building a home from the ground up. So this is a great resource, and yeah, it's just all about searching and seeking and trying to find information. If you're trying to find information, I bet you 10 times out of 10 you're going to find what you need to find just by seeking, just by trying to learn, you know, just by trying to get better. Okay, now last but not least, numero 3, what we are on right now. Come on now, this is one of the best resources that we got. YouTube University. YouTube is a great resource to learn new skills, often by expanding upon topics you don't know. Let's say, for instance, you're watching a video, maybe on a process of someone else's build. You're watching a video and seeing, oh, how they built this, and then there's a certain part about joineries or the gluing process that you see, and you're not all the way familiar with how it works or why things work the way they are, what's needed. Pause that, go into another YouTube video and expand upon that topic. You know, that's one of the best ways to really learn multiple aspects of building right there on the spot, always remaining curious to what each part of, you know, your field entails to. Sometimes when you watch YouTube, you can also watch it to just get ideas. And I'm not saying steal ideas, because honestly, you can't really steal an idea, because everything has been thought of in some way or form for the most part. Some people, you know, of course there's originality in certain builds, certain things, but just to expand upon, you know, or tweak something in your own way. But you can get inspiration just by looking and seeing, oh, well, that's what's possible. You know, if that's possible, shoot, you know, maybe I can do something like this or whatever. It's all about how you look at things and try to see them in a new light, you know. So that's pretty much the 3 things you can do to get better at your craft, you know, whatever you're interested in and wanting to pursue at a higher level, or just want to get better at in any form, to use as tools to get better at pursuing what you're interested in, what you're passionate about. Always stay consistent, you know, always put in that work, always try and care about what you're doing. If you care, you know, there's no reason that something shouldn't be able to get better. If you care to put in the work, to try, to care to be better, then you'll be fine, you know, because you're actually willing to try, you're actually willing to do. The results will speak, you know, maybe not at first, maybe when you first do it, things will seem like, oh, well, I'm not even getting better, because you're so hyper fixated on yourself, so hyper fixated on like seeing if there's any big progress. usually we can't even see that progress, but other people can. So it's just about staying consistent. One day you're gonna look and be like, dang, I actually did make a whole lot of progress without even realizing it, because I wasn't so, hyper vigilant on seeing if I did or not. Just do, try, and you'll get better. You'll get there. You just gotta try. You just gotta be able to put yourself in the position to want to do more, to be willing to actually take the steps to become better. And it's always possible if you try and you care. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Getting a little bit of information. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you guys do to get better or to expand on your craft. And let me know how these go for you, or if you do this and how it affects you. But yeah, thanks for watching. As always, we are created to create, so keep on. Yeah. I think that looks good.